And life, in my opinion, is basically just a fucking chain of choices. It's just choice after choice after choice. And if you can look at it that way, and we all know the difference between right and wrong and good and bad. We just do. And I'm not saying every single decision you make has got to be the healthy one. I'm just saying every decision you got to make should be intentional.
Yes. You know?
Oh my God. Yes. Own the decision, whatever it is. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these times we make these decisions, and that's where people struggle with like this dieting mindset and just the mindset in general. They'll make these decisions or no decision
and feel guilty
is the decision, and then they second guess their own decision and they're not confident in it. So it's like you got to own it. If you fuck up, you fuck up.
Welcome to Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt, the world's #1 no bullshit health and fitness podcast.
Are you ready to cut the crap with your diet and exercise, get strong as fuck, and build a healthy relationship with food? Then you've come to the right place.
Let's go. If you'd like to support us in the podcast, join our Patreon where you get exclusive content, which consists of monthly workouts you can do at home or at the gym, monthly challenges that are either strength, habit, or mindset based, and access to over 100 plus low-calorie, high-protein, family-friendly meals. These are all designed by a professional chef who is certified in nutrition. These recipes are already in MyFitnessPal for easy fucking tracking. New recipes are also added each week.
We believe that fitness is for everyone, so this is our way of getting you started on your health and fitness journey at a price most everyone can afford. So what the fuck are you waiting for? We'll see you in the Patreon.
Hey Michael, how's it going, man?
What is up?
Well, how are you?
Great.
You're good. Welcome to Cut the Crap. We're happy to have you on.
We're very excited.
Here, let's fucking cut the crap.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's go. First F-bomb, 30 seconds into it. I'm here for it.
We got our water. Let's fucking go.
Team water.
All right. I can't drink too much or I'll end up having to pee like in 30 minutes in.
And we've all got the stickers.
Look, I'm going to cut the crap and be honest with you. I'm probably going to have to take a pee.
And you know what? Hey. That's fine because we
literally I just had to right before the podcast. I made the comment to Beth. I said, well, I'm definitely hydrated, a little too hydrated, according to especially the color chart that she posted on her story yesterday. I'm like a 1 or 2 up there. So
awesome.
So what's up, Michael? How's your day been so far?
Day is going well. I'm moving and grooving. I got a bunch of shit to do today because my wife and kids are in Europe. My wife is Danish, so they always go to Denmark a couple weeks before me, so my wife can get all the Danish speaking out of the way so that when I get there, I'm not like fucking a mute, you know. Typically for years, we would go together and then I'd be like just sitting at the table. And like people would try to talk to me, my family, you know, my Danish family, and I'd be like, I don't speak Danish. I love you. I do, but I just don't what you're saying to me. So I just say, hey, go before me. I'll meet you. I'll spend a week in Denmark. And so I'm going to meet them on Saturday. And we're actually doing something for the first time ever, which is renting our whole house out on Airbnb while we're in Europe.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you got to prep for that.
Yeah, we have like a guest cottage that we rent out on Airbnb, and it like basically pays for our mortgage ×2, which is awesome. And this time we were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's rent the whole property while we're gone. It'll pay for our whole trip. And so I've just got a lot of shit to do before I leave because I got to go down to the city tomorrow. But aside from that, everything's going well. Super well. How are you guys doing?
Good day to be alive. Honestly, I can't complain. Been doing really well lately.
Doing well.
Crushing training lately, and as Beth is as well.
So Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself so the viewers know, like, what is Michael Chernow about? What do you do? Who are you?
Yeah. The whole thing, or should we like piecemeal it?
We'll do an elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch. Okay. My name is Michael Chernow. I am a father of 2 awesome boys, Finley and Dakota, 9 and 6. I am a husband to my amazing wife, Donna. We've been married for 17 years and together for 19 years.
Wow. Nice.
We met when we were 4 years old.
Oh my God.
That's a joke. But
I was gonna say, what?
Beth and I were like, wow, talk about childhood love story.
We met young. My life raft when I was going a transitional period in my life. And so those are the 2 most important things in my life, being a dad and being a husband. But I'm also an entrepreneur. I have founded a few businesses. I've exited a few. I'm currently running a company called Creatures of Habit, which is this in-your-face lifestyle and wellness brand rooted in nutritional healthy habits, kind of just an extension of how I have sort of changed my life from dark and desperate to awesome and thriving. And I really do sort of owe that success to my ability and commitment to making better decisions on a daily basis. And so I wanted to create a brand that really aligned with that. So
Yep.
that's sort of what I'm doing. I live in upstate New York now, and honestly, like, I really don't have much to complain about. I've got two amazing dogs. I've got a 1-year-old monster mush dog named Murphy, who is a mastiff, and
Oh, wow.
a
Big boy.
4-year-old pit mutt that I found in Brooklyn. And so
Ah,
my two companions, one is sitting right here,
uh-huh.
and the other one
Nice.
is right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Right where they
Side by
belong.
side. Yep.
They kind of like hold me down, especially when the fam's away. And yeah, I'm just stoked to be here with you guys.
Yeah,
Hell
we're
yeah, man.
excited to have you. And one other thing that you are coming into your 20th year of, I should say, sobriety, correct?
100% recovery.
That's
It's all my
incredible.
story. Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know when this podcast will air, but
2 days from today.
Yeah.
amazing. So that will be on my 20th anniversary
Shut
Friday.
the
go.
fuck up.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Hell
fucking
yeah.
awesome. Congrats. That's
Thank you.
no small feat. I know. Trust me, I know this.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Friday, August 2nd is my sober anniversary. So today,
Mhm.
20 years ago, I was in my absolute worst case of life, basically. It was 2 days before I actually decided to get sober, and I was on a death march, and I really wanted to die. And I was, ingesting and using as much drugs and alcohol as I possibly could to achieve that goal. But luckily, I blacked out, and Friday, August 2nd, 2004 was the last day I used or drank.
Mhm. Wow.
Wow.
And so that is like,
That's the dark and depressed story that you come from then.
yeah. I grew up in a pretty rough and tumble household. I grew up in New York City, in Manhattan. My dad was an electrician. My mom was a secretary. And my dad was a very aggressive, violent, abusive dude. And I now know, after years of work on myself and all sorts of different therapeutic journeys, that my dad really probably did love me, but just some people don't have the bandwidth or the ability to express it in the way that we kind of understand what love is supposed to feel like and look like.
Mhm.
And so what I've learned through that is, like, because I am a very loving person, I'm like, I would consider myself a super dad, and I love my wife more than anything. And so what I've learned through that is, like, you don't need to be shown how to love. And that's real for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
people feel like they're past, and I'm not trying to downplay anybody's trauma.
Yeah.
I certainly went through a shit ton of it, and I still deal with things that are residuals from that. But I also do believe that, like, we don't have to live a life that is dictated by our trauma. Can actually get through it, not forget it, get through it, and use it as fuel to fire awesomeness. And that's kind of how I live my life today. Like, I was molested by my fucking sports coach. My dad beat the shit out of me. My mom didn't know what to do. And so she was caught in an abused situation, and she kind of just went numb. And I was left to my own devices. And I moved out of my parents' house when I was 15 because child services wanted to put me in foster care. And I was like a crazy kid running around New York City. I was the kid from Kids, like that movie.
Yeah.
I was in nightclubs, doing crazy shit, 13, 14, 15, 16, selling drugs, using drugs, just crazy dude. And
Wow.
I don't regret a second of it, not even a second. The only thing I would probably want to change is the molestation from my sports coach and Cub Scout leader. Even that has helped shape some section of my statue as a human. And
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, man. I know it's not easy
I
to
know.
share that and talk about that. That's something that I have a similar experience. I've talked about that a little bit here on the podcast, so I
Just
definitely feel what
recently,
you're putting down.
actually.
Just recently started talking about that a little bit as I've been going
Mhm.
through my own mental health, journey. And I know when we connected, you've liked a lot of my men's health awareness and mental health awareness posts and things like that. So I really do appreciate that, man. It's inspiring to know that you've gone through what you've gone through and you become the person that you are today, right? Because that shows people that there's hope, there's recovery in your instance, that our trauma doesn't define us, right? And we can take control of that, and we can let the trauma define us, as many of us do for so long, and then we can choose to move on from that, and practice that radical acceptance that shitty things happen to good people, right?
Yeah.
We can control how we respond to it after.
I think that's the only thing we can control.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, exactly. I talk about that a lot, like playing victim. A lot of people play victim, right? And I'm one to talk. When I was in active like drinking, I was a victim of everything. Like everything like happened to me. You know what I'm saying? But once you get out of that, you realize, okay, it's how I actually respond to all these things. I'm not a victim. I could choose to like take my pain into purpose. I'm more than what happened to me.
Totally. And I think that unfortunately, a lot of human beings are victims in many different genres of life, right? And I don't mean it in sort of a derogatory way. I mean it legitimately, right?
Right.
Like you are a victim of someone's wrath, or you are a victim of desire. You are a victim of addiction. It's viable shit.
Yeah.
However, what I've learned and my message is like living in that well of victimhood is not going to make you feel any better. Right? It's just not. And
it makes you feel worse almost.
It also gives the perpetrator, whoever, whatever it was, power still too.
Right. Someone said to me once a while ago, it really, really stuck with me. And that this person was using it this was like early sobriety for me, but this person was using it in regards to alcoholics. But basically what he said was, when most people fall into a ditch or a deep hole, they freak out and they want to get the fuck out as fast as possible. When an alcoholic falls into a ditch or a deep hole, they start hanging pictures on the wall. And I was like, I get that, right? I get that because a lot of the time for my addiction and my alcoholism, I blamed everyone else. Like it was like, woe is me, woe is me. No, but like me. Like you don't understand. This is like, I had a tough fucking life, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, like that is not going to get me out of the hole. It's going to literally, like, I might as well pull out a shovel and start digging deeper. Another way that I sort of had an experience that was somewhat like revolutionary for me was in my first business. I went into business with my childhood best friend, and we opened up this business called the Meatball Shop in New York City in 2010. And by all sort of like senses of success, we crushed. We really did. I mean, it was like we didn't expect it. We opened the doors and this place like was insane. And we opened up 6 restaurants fast. Based on the success of the first one. And ultimately, the two of us butt heads. 3 years in, it was like the business was off the chart and the two of us were just like at each other's throats, and it was god awful. And so terrible. And it's like those times where like this band will come out of nowhere and they make amazing music and you're like, oh my God, that band is great. And then poof, they're gone. And you're like, what happened to the band? It was so good. And it was like, oh yeah, the drummer and the bass player like fucking hated each other.
Right.
And so with the business, Dan and I couldn't see eye to eye. And I was young and I didn't know how to deal with it. And so I literally spent like anytime I thought about him, I thought negatively about him. Anytime his name came up, I had something negative to say. Anytime somebody would listen to me, I would say something negative about him. And I realized that like every single time I said his name, it was making my resentment worse. And the only person that was affecting was me. It didn't affect him. It affected me. And so I kind of made a pact to myself where I was like, hey, man, every time you think about this person, think of them in a positive light. And anytime you say something about this person, make sure you say something positive. If you don't have anything positive to say, don't say anything at all. And after a year of that, the two of us came back together and we're best friends. And so it is like the decisions you make will dictate your happiness and or lack thereof. In my opinion.
God, that is so true. I try to tell my son that because he was pissed off at me the other day because he has strength training once a week. And I'm like, all right, we got to leave to go strength training. He's like, I don't want to do it. He started getting all pissed off. And I'm like, you know what? If you have this attitude, you're not going to have fun. So it's your choice to choose to be happy because you know you have to do it anyway, or you could just be fucking miserable. And it really is a choice to switch that and be like, okay, I'm going to fucking enjoy myself and we're going to get through this. And it really does change everything when you just change your thoughts and focus on the more positive part of it.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. You said the same thing to him, Beth, when we were hiking on when shit got real hard on that hike.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to do that. And they say to, if you're going to say some deep shit, do it in the car or on a place where they can't escape. And it's usually like a hike or in the car on the way, because he would just like walk away from me. I mean, he's 12, he's preteen. And so he no choice but to sit there. He's like, can you just stop talking now, Mom? I understand. Okay. It's like,
Totally.
yeah.
So,
power of words, positivity,
for sure.
Thoughts.
It's that mindset. It's just the more of a growth mindset. There's a kind of a correlation, right, with that more of a fixed mindset and the more negativity, and negativity attracts negativity as well.
Sure.
So you're coming up on 20 years sobriety. That's incredible. What was that like for you getting sober? Did you go through a program or anything like that?
Yeah. So my sort of story in that is, it was a morning. I'd been up for probably 2 days, and the two guys that I was with had basically called it, and they were like, all right, we're done. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, later, like, okay, good. I'm not. So I like went downstairs. We were on the roof of my apartment building. I went downstairs into my apartment, and I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror in my bedroom as I was like walking past the mirror that I hated looking into. And I kind of stopped and turned and like looked at myself. And I remember very clearly being like, you should die. You're useless. Like it's this sad sack of shit you are. And I sat on my bed. I opened up a warm beer. I drank it. And I had more cocaine as well. And I was like, basically like, I came up with this romantic idea to how to end it all. And I had overdosed on heroin 2 weeks prior to that. And I had like promised myself that day that had happened, that I was done. And I just couldn't stop. I couldn't figure out how to stop. And then I thought I was going to sit on my windowsill and wait until I passed out and fall. Like that was kind of like the idea that I had come up with. And I didn't do that. I blacked out, and I came to like 16 hours later. And I had slept through work because I was working in a restaurant, very classic place for an alcoholic to work. And I was working in a restaurant, slept through work. My boss at the time, and I'd worked there for 2.5 years. It was a place where I could use and drink the way I wanted to until I couldn't. And my boss was like, I'm sorry, Mikey, I love you, man. You're a kid. You're a great human being, but I cannot watch you die. And everybody around you is watching you die. And I got to fire you. You got to figure out another place to do what you're doing at. And I was mortified with that. My job was like the last thing tethering me to life, to any sort of semblance of like real life. And I begged him for my job, and he was like, look, dude, you cannot work in this restaurant. But if you want to show up here at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll pay you hourly, and you can clean the restaurant with the porters. And potentially after a month of that, I would consider giving you your job back if you got sober. You got to get here at 8. And if I find out you have a single sip of alcohol, a sniff of any drug, take any pill, I'll find out about it because I know all the people that you party with, and you're fired. But I'll give you the second chance here. And that's when I felt that very brief moment of grace. And I called somebody I knew who was sober, and she introduced me to her boyfriend who was also sober. And then these two guys showed up at my apartment within hours, and they were covered in tattoos. They were tough dudes. And I said, Jesus, I didn't know sobriety could be like that. I needed someone at that point in my life to like want to impress. I wanted somebody to give me a pat on the back. And I was like, I can see myself trying to impress these guys. And they listened to me for 4 hours, spill my guts out. And they basically wrote a plan for me. And these guys were like very fit. They were Muay Thai kickboxing guys. And they basically said, look, this is what we're going to ask you to do. And if you don't do it, all good. We're not going to chase you. We have no interest in being a babysitter, but like, here's the steps that we're going to give you to conduct on a daily basis. And if you do it, chances are you'll live an unbelievably awesome life because you're young enough and you still have 80 years ahead of you. If you don't do it, you'll probably die, and we'll move on to the next person to try to help. But basically they told me to wake up as early as I can in the morning. Immediately upon waking up, drop onto my knees and ask God for help. And they said, we don't give a shit if you believe in God, you don't believe in God, you know what you're praying to, you fucking don't. All we're telling you to do is just say, please help me today. And then go into the bathroom, take a piss, wash your face, actually wash your face, brush your teeth. If you can get to flossing, put on your contact lenses. And already at that point, I was like, way too much. I was like, brush my teeth. I was just like, whatever. I didn't grow up in a religious household. So I was just like, I'll ask for help. I need as much of it as I can. So anyway, they were like, pray, brush your teeth, wash your face. If you can floss, put on your contacts, put on a pair of sneakers, and get outside immediately. And we want you to take a walk. That could be a walk around the block. That could be a walk around the neighborhood. That could be a run. It could be, we just want you to move your body. As soon as you get back home, we want you to have a big bowl of oatmeal. It's easy, it's inexpensive, it's satiating, and it's healthy. And you can add anything you want to it, but just put food into your system that's going to actually make you feel good in the morning, that's healthy. And then we want you to get to a sober community meeting, get over to a sober community meeting, get your hand up, introduce yourself, tell them who you are and why you're there. And then immediately after that, we want you to head down to the gym and we're going to train with you. And that training is going to be Muay Thai, and we're going to do calisthenics. We're going to do Muay Thai, and we're going to whip you into shape, and we're going to teach you about commitment. And then right after that, you're going to have chicken and broccoli. You're going to take a nap, and then you're going to go to work. You're going to have chicken and broccoli again, and then you're going to go to bed as early as possible. And right before you go to bed, you're going to drop on your knees and say thank you, and rinse and repeat. And I was like, and literally that's like the plan that they gave me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically my life today. That's almost
they instilled discipline in you.
Yeah.
You know, and I fell in love with, and that was my introduction to the sober community. That was my introduction to fitness and nutrition. And these guys really winged me. I owe my life to them and Frank and the sober community. And also, really, I got to say, like, I don't think that I would be sober as long as I am had I not introduced this fitness and nutrition and then ultimately mindset component. I really don't think I'd be sober as long as I am, because I have felt so much in love with those things. And the reason why I think is, as human beings, like, we're wired to want to win, right? Like, we just are. Like, nobody's like, yeah, I'd love to lose. Like, I can't wait to lose today. We're wired to want to win. And I don't mean like win the race. I mean winning, like, feel good. And so winning back in those days was controlling my mood through being able to drink and use drugs or whatever. And then I learned that I can also control my mood and how I felt by winning with fitness and nutrition every single day. So that's what I started doing. And I started going, I followed this plan, and slowly but surely, like, my body started to change, which ultimately gave me confidence in the fact that I could commit to that. And then once my body started to change, I started to build confidence and started to feel like I can like have these wins that these guys very like articulately and creatively yet simply wrote out for me, and just chip away on a daily basis. And then courage, and the courage part came from the confidence. And that's what drove me to get back to work, go back to school, build a business, build another business. And it all starts with, in my opinion, the moment you open your eyes in the morning, you got a shot. You got a choice.
Oh yeah, totally agree.
And everybody does, right? Like, obviously some people are in way more fortunate situations than others. But every morning you wake up and you open your eyes, you got a choice to make.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and life is, in my opinion, is basically just a fucking chain of choices. It's just choice after choice after choice. And if you can look at it that way, and we all know the difference between right and wrong and good and bad. We just do. And I'm not saying every single decision you make has got to be the healthy one. I'm just saying every decision you got to make should be intentional.
Yes. You know?
Oh my God. Yes. Own the decision, whatever it is. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these times we make these decisions, and that's where people struggle with, like, this dieting mindset and just the mindset in general. They'll make these decisions or no decision,
and feel guilty.
is the decision, and then they second guess their own decision and they're not confident in it. So it's like, you got to own it. If you fuck up, you fuck up.
Totally.
It's okay.
Yeah, I believe in the sort of 80-20. That's
Mm.
the way I live my life, you know.
Yeah.
10% of the time I am dialed in. I know what I'm having for breakfast. I know what I'm having for my snacks. I know what I'm having for lunch, my
Got
dinner.
that structure.
And then 20% of the time, we're going to the drive-in movie theater with my kids. Like, I'm fucking having popcorn, peanut M&Ms in the popcorn, and I'm having a burger and
Is there any
fries.
other way?
Exactly.
Let's go.
Exactly.
Give me that, and I'll feel great about it because I just know that Monday through Friday, I'm
Yeah.
on it. I'm on,
Mhm.
you know, like
Exactly.
Simone Biles last night.
She was on it. Yeah. The entire
Yeah.
women's Olympic teams, they're just crushing it. And
Oh my God, I've been so obsessed with the
so fucking
Olympics this
inspiring.
time. Yeah.
Like we're all rugby fans now, apparently. So
Yeah. When you said they gave you the list of things to do and they said have oatmeal for breakfast, that immediately gave me shivers because now you have a company called Creatures of Habit, and you were so generous to send me a huge box of all kinds of amazing oatmeal. And so I'm guessing is that Creatures of Habit came from possibly oatmeal,
Yeah.
strong
healthy.
correlation.
Yeah, maybe you could talk about the Creatures of Habit and how that came about.
Yeah.
I would love to know.
So you nailed it.
Yay.
I created Creatures of Habit. I get emotional when I talk about it, honestly, because it's
Mhm.
so funny for me that oatmeal was like a real part of my journey. And
Yeah.
Oatmeal, right?
started 20 years ago. But I needed something to sink my teeth into, literally, when I was coming out of this dark place.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will tell you to, like, when you're stressed out, have a candy bar in the sober world, right?
Mhm.
For me, these guys were like, no, like commit to a meal plan and then win when you actually accomplish it. And so these guys just told me to eat oatmeal. I was not an oatmeal dude. Outside of like when I was a little kid, I think my mom would give me like Quaker Oats instant oatmeal.
The brown sugar stuff.
Yeah. But when these guys said to eat oatmeal, I was like down for whatever to get me out of the hell I was in. And so they just told me to eat oatmeal. And so I'm not exaggerating. The brand is called Creatures of Habit because like
Mhm.
once I find something that works for me, I'm all fucking in. I just am. And
Yeah.
I have been eating oatmeal. I think that there was a period of time, I don't remember how long it was, that I changed my first meal of the day from oatmeal to eggs. And it lasted probably about a year, and I ended up going back to oatmeal, and that's probably 10 years ago. But realistically, I've been eating oatmeal as my first meal of the day
Mhm.
for almost 20 years. And
Let's
the
go.
reason why is because like I don't just have oatmeal. I would never tell anybody to just have oatmeal in the morning.
We're not
Right.
horses.
Yeah, like, like when you talk about like the breakfast of champions, eat like a bowl of cereal, I'm like, that is like the worst thing you can do.
Right. Yeah.
Like, don't have a bowl of cereal in the morning. Like you need to have a blend of protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats. It has
Yeah.
to,
Mhm.
in order to
Yeah.
feel satiated, in order not to crash, in order not to spike your blood sugar, you can't just have a bowl of fucking carbohydrates with
And
ultimate
also for it to taste good.
sugar.
Yeah.
Right. And what most people do to make it taste good is they like hit it with maple syrup and like
Right. Right.
Right.
So for me, I started pretty early on making these oatmeal concoctions. And it was like I would have oatmeal and I would add protein powder to it. And then I started to add like seeds to it. And then I started to add salt to it. And so over the years, I continued to just sort of develop this concoction. And I always made it hot every day. And it would take me 20 minutes or so to cook in the morning. But I loved it so much that I was so like passionate about like making my oatmeal. My wife was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Can't we just have something else?" Meal prep on Sundays, like I make the same shit. It's always delicious, but it's like I'm like, why would I change this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 44 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I have been in this shape and able to be an athlete, a strength trainer. I became a pro bodybuilder, competed in Muay Thai, run marathons. Like I'm able to use my body as a tool that
Mhm.
also makes me feel good since I'm 24 years old when I got
Mhm.
sober.
Hell yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
so I basically said, no, I'm not going to fucking change it. I'm sticking with it, man. It's working. Like,
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mhm.
So in 2019, I sold equity at my last restaurant concept, which was called Seymour's, a sustainable seafood restaurant. And it was the end of 2019. I got very lucky timing wise there. And I was going to open up a wellness restaurant in New York called Creatures of Habit, because you would imagine that in New York City, especially now with like the wellness boom, there would be like some cool wellness, like cool, healthy restaurants. Strange that there's not. Like in New York, like the healthy restaurants are daytime salad spots. And then if you want to have a healthy meal at night that's actually healthy, it's like crunchy. It smells like a healthy restaurant. It looks like a healthy restaurant. Lots of tapestries, patchouli, and fucking dreadlock. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. I'm getting a visual here.
you're getting the
You painted a
vibe.
good picture. You painted a good picture.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Like you
I'm
look at
smelling
and
it.
it's got like, it's got like a tile mosaic on the fucking door. And so I was like, let me make a dope wellness restaurant in New York that people want to come to and hang out at. And like, it's got a vibe, hang out with your friends, take a date, go with you, whatever. And then I was going to use that restaurant as an incubator for packaged goods. So we would make awesome products in the restaurant. We'd obviously serve them on the menu in dishes, sauces, whatever. And then we would see what people were taking home because we would bottle them as well.
As a parent, our days are filled with joy, challenges, and countless memories of connection. And let's be real here, more often than not, chaos can feel downright unavoidable. And in those moments, maintaining our peace and well-being are absolutely crucial. And you should know by now that I love talking about all things mindfulness. So this message is for all you mindful parents out there seeking a natural path to tranquility and presence. Cured Nutrition understands the unique stressors we face every day. Whether it's waking up early to take the kids to school or playing taxi as you shuttle everyone from practice to practice, let's not forget that you still have your daily responsibilities with your own career. That's why they created their Serenity Gummies, your go-to ally in managing the complexities of parenthood with ease. These gummies aren't just a treat. They're a blend of science-backed, health-supporting ingredients like full-spectrum cannabinoids, ashwagandha, reishi mushroom, and L-theanine. Each ingredient is chosen for its ability to support your physical, mental, and emotional sense of calm. Now imagine unwinding from the day's hustle with a natural alternative to alcohol, helping you to improve your presence, mindfulness, and overall well-being. Now oftentimes we turn to alcohol as a way to alleviate stress, but take it from someone that has a long look at his relationship with alcohol. That really only makes things worse. The Serenity Gummies offer a more holistic tool to have in your arsenal so that you can feel good about feeling good. I personally enjoy the passion fruit flavor. It's sweet with some kind of an earthy undertone. I'm no expert when it comes to tasting things. I just know what works for me, what tastes good. In addition to that, each gummy is precisely dosed to guide me to my happy place. Now, Cured Nutrition is offering an exclusive 20% off discount just for our listeners when you purchase Serenity Gummies. Visit www.curednutrition.com/CTC and use coupon code CTC at checkout. That's CURED nutrition.com/CTC, coupon code CTC to embrace a state of relaxation and balance. Remember, protecting your peace is just one gummy away. Now take a moment for yourself and find serenity in the midst of life's whirlwind moments. Because you, as a parent, deserve to support your well-being and do something for yourself so you can continue serving others like the badass that you are. Protect your peace and pop a gummy.
The pandemic hit. And I was like, oh, damn. My whole entire career, I'd been in the restaurant business since I was 12. So 12 to at that point, I was 38. I was like, my career as I know it is kaputskis. Like, what do I do? Like, who knows how long this is going to last? We were in the city until like April and shit was not looking good. And so I was like, all right, we had this house upstate about 2.5 hours north that we went to on the weekends. I was like, let's pack some shit, put the kids in the car. We're going to hunker down upstate for a little while, see what happens. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And all my friends were closing their restaurants and shit was not good in New York. And I was like, I need to make a pivot. There's no choice.
Yeah.
And I got very lucky that I got out of the last business in the time that I did. But I hired an executive coach and I just started sort of understanding that I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a creative dude. Like I can create in other industries that don't have to be in the world of restaurant. And I was already planning on kind of building this CPG business. So let me just draw a line through the restaurant and just go full steam ahead on CPG. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I was on a run one day up here where it's like, I live in one of the most beautiful places, in my opinion, in the country. Like upstate New York is just gorgeous, and the Hudson Valley. And I was on a run and I was like, oh my God, it's right in front of my face. It's the most authentic, organic meal that I like. That's been in my life for as long as I can remember. It's my oatmeal. I've got the best, like in my opinion, the best, most sort of like an optimized oatmeal for sort of premium nutrition, premium fitness people. Like that was like the people that I connected with. That was the people that I associated with. And I was like, I want to make a product for them. And that was like the original thought, right? Like I know protein powder is not for everyone.
Right.
You know, people that love Quaker Oats instant oatmeal probably are not going to necessarily love Meal One because it's got 30 grams of protein powder in it. It also has a bunch of seeds in it. And so I was like, let me try to go narrow and deep with a community of people that I think would appreciate this product. But not only that, I wanted to be able to tell my story. That your past doesn't have to predict your present or the future. You can change at any fucking time. It's how badly do you want it? And what are you willing to do? And I am a living, breathing example of a dead man walking that's changed his life drastically. And it's all because I've decided to put a plug in the jug and start moving my body and putting positivity into my body that ultimately has helped now define who I am as a person. And that's Creatures of Habit in a nutshell. And so I spent a year working on the formula, and we came up with the sort of the best version of Meal One to launch it. And we've iterated 3 times now on the product, and knock on wood, we're kicking ass. And there's a lot of people that are big fans of the brand, and we're creating a brand. And last year, I raised $75,000 to sponsor addicts and alcoholics that are ready for treatment, but just don't have the capital to get into treatment. So we five people in treatment this year.
Wow.
And I've stayed close to all of them. One of them also happens to be one of my childhood friends that I thought was dead and is now over 90 days sober, a different human being. So the brand is like really an extension of my life. And I'm creating stuff that I stand behind 1000%.
Yeah, your business allows you to help people in more ways than one and give back. And when you mentioned that you've done that for 5 people and still close with them, in a way, it's like that same way that you received that help when you first started, right? With that mentorship.
Yeah, look, I didn't actually go through treatment. I went to AA, right? And
same.
And for me, I think I was at the point where it was either that or death. I was at a true crossroads.
Yeah.
And the people in that community don't love when I say those 2 letters, right? They way prefer me not talk about that. That said, it saved my fucking life.
Yeah.
It saved my life, and times have changed. It's not 1939, it's 2000.
Right, I agree. Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say AA. And if you don't like it, unfollow me. Tell the AA guys. It saved my life. Every time I mention the sober community, people are like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, shoot me a DM. And now I'm just like, you know what? I fucking go to AA. I went to AA religiously for at least the first 15 years of my sobriety every day. And it is the solution. I don't give a shit what you say, because you can go to treatment and go out, and go to treatment and go out. I know a lot of people that have gone to treatment many, many times. And some people just need the treatment to get a kick in the ass to get into the program.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like if you don't have a program, drugs aside, drinking is it's knitted into the fabric of our like culture.
Right.
Yeah.
People are like, just let's meet for drinks. We're going to, you want to meet for a drink? It's so part of this society that it's so hard to stay away from if you don't have a community of people that are
That's
supporting.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do believe that like you need
Mhm.
support.
Oh yeah. That's where I started. I went to AA every day for a year. It saved my life. I was literally like you. I was at a crossroads. Either I knew I was either going to die, I was going to either kill somebody else, or I would be killed because I started drinking and driving with my kids in the car. Not good, not fucking good. And it's like you get this like moment, like, oh my fucking God, like I really need help. And there just so happened to be an AA meeting down the street from me. The hardest thing I think is to walk in that room. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done besides like giving birth, is like admitting I'm an alcoholic. But literally, those people saved my life. And
Yeah.
you need a program. I think everyone needs something like a
Yeah.
community or something. You can't just. I tried to do it so many times on my own. It was like, you can't do that shit on your own.
Yeah.
Community really is so important for almost anything that you're doing. But
Support.
I'm also, I know I'm a little confused. Why is there like backlash about saying AA, right?
A lot of people
I'm sober
talk shit about
community.
AA. I feel like I don't.
Who fucking cares if it works for you?
Well, no,
If
it's that. It's the anonymity component. Alcoholics Anonymous
Yeah.
basically was designed to keep it completely like you don't
I
talk
see.
about it. You don't talk about it with
So
your
it's like the
friends.
shame aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think back in the day when it was actually created, there was way more of a stigma.
Yes.
around
Agree.
I understand.
You're an alcoholic. Now, hundreds of thousands of people are overdosing on fentanyl. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what you say. Like,
Mhm.
if there is a solution and I know it to be the program, I want to talk about it and I want to get as many
Mhm.
people exposed to it as possible. It shouldn't be this secret society. Although
Right.
I will get drilled for this. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I'm like, hey, like if I was listening to your podcast and I was looking for a way out of the hell that I was in, and I heard this, and I was like, you know what? Maybe that's that's the last push. This guy said, "Get the fuck out of your own way and go walk through the doors." Like maybe we just saved that person's life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what it should be about, right?
When people ask me, I tell them, I'm like, I went to AA. You need help. Maybe you should think about going to AA. Or if their partner is struggling, I'm like, go to Al Anon because you need support as well. You can't do this shit on your own. I don't think I've ever gotten hate for it yet.
Yeah, no, I've had like some of the old timers just tell me to shut up and sit down. You don't need to. And in my opinion, I'm like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. It's all with the best of intentions. And I would never say, I would never mention anybody's name. I would
Right.
not a story. I would never like blow someone up because why would I do that? I have zero interest in
It's not your place to do that.
For
Yeah.
me, I just know that like there's no better feeling for me than when I get somebody that shoots me a note and says, dude, you have no idea. After listening to some of the stuff that you said, you saved my life.
Mhm.
I'm living a different life now. And I'm like, let's go.
And that's what it's all about. That's why we're all here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really.
Let's go.
It is. Let's go.
hmm
Amazing. So obviously with oatmeal, that's something that Beth and I eat almost every single fucking day.
I know,
We
literally,
we can't shut the fuck up about oatmeal.
it
I
lowered my
love that this-
cholesterol.
yeah, it lowered
And
Beth's cholesterol.
Michael sent me that package when I was just starting my cut. And I think I told you, Michael, I was like, I have to make sure my calories are so fucking low for me that I had to budget that shit. I was like, all right, when can I fit this in?
Let's get
Anyway.
fucking real. It's okay. You didn't love it. It's okay. You know, not everybody's going to love it. That's the truth.
But
Like,
here's the thing. I didn't, it's because it was cold. And I'm not a overnight oats person. And I was actually just telling Matt this. I was like, it's actually good, but I have a hard time with overnight oats. I've tried it many times, even like on my own, and I never could get it. And it's a different texture than when it's hot. So I was actually going to ask you, can you make this hot or is it strictly overnight oats?
You can totally make it hot. The way I would suggest doing it, though, is microwave as opposed to just adding hot water. It's
Okay.
in the microwave. That said, the product was designed to be overnight.
Gotcha.
And so there are a bunch of people that are like, hell no, I have this shit hot every day and I love it.
Okay.
And they make it in the microwave with like almond milk or oat milk or something like that.
Yeah.
If somebody does it warm and they don't like it, you don't take credit for that one. You're like, you're supposed to do it cold.
Well, it's probably because it has chia seeds and those expand and it helps the thickness is what I'm guessing with that too.
Well, the thing is about overnight is that like, I tend to have a little bit of a sweet tooth, right? I'm also a chef. And so when I was developing this product, there's this place and flavor in the world of culinary that we call umami, which is basically perfect balance of sweet, salt, heat, and acid. And I wasn't going to put any hot stuff in there. And I really wasn't interested in adding any kind of acidic component. So I wanted to balance the sweet and the salt because that to me is just like, it's craveable, right? And so the best way to do that for me was to really blossom the flavors. And the way that happens is overnight. Allowing the flavors to really blossom was going to be hard to do if you just did it hot by adding hot water, right?
Gotcha.
Like, oats aren't going to cook. When you do it in the microwave will nuke it way better than just hot water will. And so you get a little bit of that flavor blossoming. But really, when you put it in the fridge overnight, the oats soak it in, the flavors really come together and blossom. And me personally, I have a high protein content requirement. So I still train like a savage. I got 200 grams of protein every day. And so my first meal of the day, I'm trying to get 50 grams of protein. And meal one has 30 grams. So I add an extra scoop of protein to it, which makes it a little, it's thick and it's like, it's kind of like a pudding at that point. But I'm like, I know it's my product. I'm pretty biased, but I'm hooked on it. Like I look forward to it every single day. It's got that little sweet kick to it for me that like just sort of makes me feel like I'm sort of cheating, but I'm not because I know the ingredients like the back of my hand. I've sourced them all, but it covers everything from it's satiating. It's got 30 grams of plant protein. It's got chia seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds. It's got electrolytes with the pink salt. It's got D3 omegas and
I love that you're talking about electrolytes and the pink salt and everything. That's been something that Beth and I have been talking about. And I just made a big ass bowl of oatmeal this morning and said, look at all these electrolytes, right? With my berries and the oats and my walnuts that I had in there. I'm like, you guys don't stop fucking around here. You got everything you need right here. So I love that. And I've used oatmeal. It's been such a staple in my meals for every goal I've ever had, pretty much when it comes to performance or physique, fat loss, especially right now. It's so easy to make oatmeal more calorically dense for myself, which is what I need right now. I need lots of calories. So I'm just loading it up with peanut butter and honey and all that good shit too. So yeah I love it.
And you got a protein bar coming out. I think you told me that, right? Are you eating that right now? Is that a sample?
It's just in a white package.
Oh, nice. So that's exciting.
This is the one.
That's the one.
I got this morning. I think I'm not exaggerating. I think we've done like 23 or 24 iterations of the bar. I'm a maniac. My formula team hates me to death. They do. Every project that I bring to the table, like just prepare. Like it would be amazing to get the R&D done in 6 months.
Right.
I'm here to tell you, like, this is a year-long process for me. I've sort of budgeted a year-long process to get from idea to final product. And we're about 9, almost 10 months in, and we just nailed it.
Nice.
Oh yeah. What were you looking for in a protein bar? Because this is something that Beth and I we have strong opinions on with a lot of protein bars as well. So I'm curious I think it's going to be a high standard protein bar. So let's hear about it.
Yeah.
If you got 30 grams in your oatmeal, I imagine it's close to that in your protein bar.
So for me, it was like, I hate when people call it protein bar and then you look how much protein is in it and it's like 9.
Yeah.
Yes. That's disrespect.
Yes.
So for me, I said I need a 20 gram protein bar. Okay. 20 grams. My like number one requirement was no extenders, no fillers, no fucking sugar alcohols. I wanted obviously it to taste very good, right? Like it's got to taste good. It's just simply not going to work if it doesn't taste good.
Right.
And I wanted to try to keep the calories balanced. I didn't want to, like when you do these real food, which I appreciate, the whole food protein bars, they typically don't have a lot of protein and they're filled with there's a lot of fat in them. So they end up being 280, 300, calories.
A whole ass meal.
Right.
Yeah, not really
Small
getting
meal.
a lot of protein. Like I could understand that kind of that calorie count if you're getting a shit ton of protein.
Yeah.
Right.
not getting a lot of protein. And so it's very, very hard to use to make like a whole foods protein bar that's under 300 calories where you're getting 20 grams of protein in it.
Right.
So I have to sacrifice the whole foods thing, right? So I'm using nut butter. I'm using a protein blend of brown rice, pea, and fava. I'm using a couple of fibers. I'm using a tapioca fiber and a chicory root fiber. I am using monk fruit. I'm using unsweetened dark chocolate. I'm using peanuts. One of our flavors is going to be awesome. And I'm not going to spill the beans on it, but I guess you can kind of figure out what I just said there. But for me, the requirements are it's got to taste awesome. It's got to have no shit in it. It's got to have 20 grams of protein in it and as few ingredients as possible. I've had to make a couple of sacrifices on a couple of ingredients that I would have. They're in almost every single protein bar. So it's like hard for me to keep pushing.
That's the thing is that so many protein bars, they just taste the same and they all use the same artificial sweeteners. And I don't even like a lot of protein bars. I'm very picky with what I actually eat anymore, just because they all taste the same and they're just so sweet too.
Yeah, put it this way.
I
don't like any protein bars. And that's the truth. I don't feel good about eating. The idea of a protein bar is that you're getting a really nice dose of protein every day, right? Or you don't have to make a meal. And so for me, that's a daily use product, right? Like I know I try to have 50 grams of protein in my breakfast, in my lunch, and in my dinner. And then I want to have somewhere between 10 and 20 grams of protein in each of my snacks. One of the snacks is going to be a meat stick or two. And then another one of those snacks ideally is an awesome clean protein bar so that I'm getting close to that 200 grams of protein per day. And so I don't have a protein bar like stocked in my pantry ever because I legitimately have not found a protein bar that I feel good about eating on a daily basis. Your alcohols destroy my gut. Like you don't.
Yeah, they do to a lot of people actually.
Yeah, it's just not fun, right?
Yeah.
And the whole food bars are snack bars. They're not protein bars because the majority of even like RX bar isn't a protein bar. It's got 9 grams. And so I like really set out to do my very best to have a protein bar that was like 250 calories, clean ingredients, 20 grams of protein, plant-based so that everybody can have it. It's not just for the weight
eaters.
Which is why I use those different types of proteins. Love it.
Yeah. And whey also, like I can have whey once in a while, but if I had whey every day, you're not trying to hang out with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a lot of sensitivity issues there too for people.
Yeah, I'm just not a whey every day kind of guy. Like I love a good thick whey protein shake once in a while, but at the end of the day, I supplement with protein every day.
You're right.
The plant proteins have been a lot easier for me to digest.
Yeah.
There you have it. Like it's called the Creature Bar. We're hoping to launch it soon and keep your eyes out for it because all those things that I mentioned, I have accomplished, which I'm so excited about. I ask people all the time about protein bars because I'm obviously deep in the throes of the protein bar world now.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, hey, what protein bar do you have in your pantry? And no one is like, oh yeah, this is the one. They're like, oh, I grab a protein bar in a pinch. I have made a protein bar that people are going to stock because they'll feel good eating it all the time. They'll eat it every day.
One of those staples.
Yeah, like there's no reason why you shouldn't have a 20-gram protein snack in your arsenal.
Agreed. 100%. If we're snacking, it's my belief that they should be largely protein and fiber-based snacks.
Yeah.
Agree. That's exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on one and try them.
Yeah, the branding, like we went wild on the packaging. The packaging is going to be awesome, and we're going to sell it. We're going to sell it direct to consumer. So we're not going into retail anytime soon. We're really going to build. We're building the Creatures community. It's strong. Going to continue with this bar. We think for the people that are not like overnight oatmeal. It's like, all right, well now we got a protein bar for you. So like, if we can't win you with the oats, we'll do our best to make you stoked about our protein bar.
Hell yeah. That's sick. Looking forward to it. So you said that's coming out very soon. You said it's a 12-month journey. You're in 9 or 10.
Yeah, I think that we'll probably end up launching that thing either right around the holidays or in the beginning of the new year.
Nice.
Nope. Well,
I'll make sure to get you guys a ton.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're looking forward to it. We're definitely looking forward to it. And where can people stay up to date with you to learn more about your products with Creature of Habits and just you personally?
Yeah, I'm very active on social media, so you can follow me at Michael Chernow everywhere. That's that's my shit. And then Creatures of Habit at Creatures of Habit with a K, Creatures with a K. And then if you want to check out the website, it's creaturesofhabit with a K.com, creaturesofhabit.com. And I'm super grateful that you guys had me on the show.
We are grateful to have you. I can't.
We're
It's
grateful
already
as
2
fuck.
o'clock. This hour like flew by.
Yeah. And thank you so much for sharing your journey, all aspects of life. And you never know who you're inspiring. And that's the hope, right? When we share the shit that we've been through. And I know that's why you're sharing the shit you've been through and showing that it's possible. Change is possible. And I love that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Really appreciate you coming on today, man.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, Michael.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, so why not share with a friend who needs to hear it? Send us a DM on Instagram or email us at cutthecrappod@gmail.com and join our Patreon at patreon.com/cutthecrappodcast. As always, we appreciate you and thanks for being here.